Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Sunday, 29th of September 2024. This day is celebrated as World Heart Day. The day emphasizes the importance of the heart health and encourages people to adopt a healthier lifestyle. From the history point of view, on 29th of September, it is also the day when the Indian Army did a surgical strike after the Uri attack. So, starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper, The Hindu states that Jaishankar hit his back at Pakistan in the United Nations General Assembly address. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar addressed the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York on September 28, 2024. Today we see the illness Pakistan sought to visit on others. Consume its own society, it can't blame the world. This is only karma, the External Affairs Minister said. External Affairs Minister Ajay Shankar used his address at the United Nations General Assembly UNGA debate on Saturday, September 28, 2024 to hit back at Pakistan Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif's speech at Editorial. The two countries engaged in rounds of tit-for-tat remarks over Friday, September 27, 2024 and Saturday, September 28, 2024. Referring to the United Nations General Assembly theme this year, leaving no one behind, Mr. Jaishankar said. Many countries get left behind due to the circumstances beyond their control, but some make a conscious choice with the disastrous consequences, as he named Pakistan. Why has the Supreme Court clarified POCSO provisions? What is the Supreme Court's latest far-reaching ruling on child sex abuse material online? So far, in a far-reaching verdict that clarifies the penalty consequences of dealing the online sexual material involving children, the Supreme Court has underscored that viewing, downloading, and storing of such content are all offenses are the protection of sexual offenses against child or children POCSO Act, and that criminal liability not be limited to creating, uploading, and transmitting the material. This is actually an act to protect the children from offenses of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and pornography, and provide for establishment of special courts for trial of such offenses and for movements connected therewith or incidental thereto. The Ministry of Women and Child Development holds this. Youth will defeat BJP in every election, says Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge. Citing periodic labor force survey (PLF's) data, Mr. Kharge said that despite all efforts, this government data is not able to hide the helplessness of the youth. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge on Saturday said there is no bigger issue in the country than unemployment, and that the Prime Minister and Modi must remember that every youth whose employment has been snatched away by his government will ensure that the BJP's defeat in every election. Citing periodic labor force survey (PLFS) data, Mr. Kharge said that despite all efforts, this government data is not able to hide the helplessness of the youth. Nasrallah killing in Lebanon updates. Netanyahu says Hezbollah chief's killing was essential for Israel to achieve its war goals. The Hezbollah headquarters in Beirut, where the group's leader Sayyid Hassan al-Nasrallah was killed in an Israeli strike, was a legitimate military target under the international law, the Israeli military spokesperson. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz said that the Hezbollah's chief deserved to die. Amid the ongoing conflict, Lebanon's Hezbollah group confirmed on Saturday, September 28, 2024, that its leader and one of its founders, Hassan Nasrallah, was killed in an Israeli airstrike in Beirut the previous day. A statement on Saturday, September 28, 2024, said Mr. Nasrallah has joined his fellow martyrs. Hezbollah vowed to continue the holy war against the enemy and in support of Palestine. Hassan Nasrallah, the killer who lived and died in a war, the Hezbollah headquarters in Beirut, where the group's leader Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah was killed in an Israeli airstrike, was a legitimate military target under the international law. The Israeli military spokesperson said on Saturday, September 28, 2024. Spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Haggerty Also said that Israel had issued stricter guidelines to civilians by limiting the size of the gatherings in the areas of the central Israel to 1,000 people. 48-hour shutdown brings normal life to halt in the Manipur from the Hindustan Times. The shutdown began in Churachandpur and Kangpokpi districts in the Manipur at 6 a.m. on Friday and would continue till Sunday. The 48-hour shutdown called by various cookies or groups paralyzed normal life in a tribal-dominated Churachandpur and Kangpokpi districts in Manipur on Saturday, with the markets and other commercial establishments remaining shut while vehicles staying off the road. Armed miscreants fired indiscriminately at a Mongbong team village from nearby the hilltops and surrounding Jan's forests, promoting retaliation from a village volunteers. Police said, adding women, children, and elderly people were moved to safer places following the violence. Additional security forces were deployed in the area to control the situation. No casualties have been reported in the Saturday violence, police said. Since the May 3rd last year, Manipur has witnessed clashes between Metis and Kogi communities, which has claimed at least 2,226 lives to date and uprooted around 50,000 people, many of whom are still residing in relief centers. Listen to complaints, especially women. Diligently, Odisha Chief Minister tells cops. Odisha Chief Minister Mohan Charan Majhi arrested the two-day district collectors and police officers conference in Bhubaneswar on Saturday. Amid an outrage over the dark conduct of the Odisha police officials in the case of the illegal assault of the financier of an Indian Army captain earlier this month, Chief Minister Mohan Charan Majhe on Saturday asked the cops to listen to complaints, especially women, diligently when they visit police station, even if it is 2 o'clock in the night. Pakistan raping karma of letting radicalism grow. India at United Nations. External Affairs Minister S. Jai Shankar addressed the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York on Saturday. India has told Pakistan that its policy of cross-border terrorism will never succeed. It must have no expectations of impunity and its actions will have consequences. And the only issues on the table are Pakistan's vacation from the illegally occupied Indian territory and abandonment of its policy of terrorism. It has also suggested that what Pakistan is suffering today internally is karma for its past approach of instilling radicalism in its own society. Once again, Lebanon crisis highlights strike on Hezbollah chief, also kills an Iranian general. Smoke rises from the site of an Israeli airstrike on the Shia neighborhood of Beirut's southern suburbs on September 28, 2024. Lebanon crisis highlights the Israeli military launched deadly attacks on the Lebanon on Saturday, which resulted in the death of the Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah and targeted more than 140 locations. And reports said that the killings includes his daughter Zainab Nasrallah. Going to the country from the business point of view, government allows non-basmati or white rice exports with minimum price cap of $490 per ton. The export policy for non-basmati white rice, semi-milled or wholly milled rice, whether or not polished or glazed, is amended from the prohibited to free. The Directorate General of the Foreign Trade (DGFT) said on its notification. Exports of non-basmati white rice have been banned since 2023 to boost the domestic supply. In owner, Eraya suspended Robin Reina as ABIC's chairman and CEO. Eraya also said Robin Reina and certain identifying personnel have been refrained from contracting, writing, and intimidating many of the officers and employees of the ABIC's and Robin Reina. Gold prices at all-time high, reach causes geopolitical conflicts drive demand. Apart from the United States Fed action, the uncertainty due to the ongoing tensions between Russia and the Ukraine and the Israel-Hezbollah conflict has made the investors rush towards the commodities including gold. With the gold prices expected to rise further, analysts suggest that investors should now look at increasing their fund allocation to the yellow metal as part of their asset diversification strategy. Going to the world news, including Austria faces tight election as far-right seeks historic victory. Trump intensifies attacks on immigrants and Harris. Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov warns West about the nuclear conflict dangers. Zelensky says Trump promises support for Ukraine in war against Russia. Israel intercepts alleged missile fired on the Netanyahu by Yemen's Houthi rebels. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi calls for Middle East ceasefire, pushes role as a global peacemaker. Going to science and tech, we have an American astronaut returned to space. Space Shuttle Discovery takes off from the launch pad 39B at the Kennedy Space Center, Florida, during the launch of the satellite's 26 mission on September 29, 1998. On September 29, 1988, the United States launched the STS-26 mission. In case you are wondering why that is important, it was the first American mission with their human crew since the Challenger disaster 32 months before. As kinetics look at how this successful mission panned out. January 28, 1986 is a dark day in a human space flight prehistory. On a cold morning, following a night in which the temperatures had dipped below the freezing, the space shuttle Challenger was launched only to burst in flames just 73 seconds after liftoff. Every one of the 7-member crew died in what was the worst space disaster until then. It shook the entire world, and thus United States in a particular. Bouncing back up from the event like that, it was always hard. As the immediate aftermath is filled with the emotions, what followed was a period of the reflection, which highlighted the near non-existence at NASA of a safety reporting system. The fundamental problem of the space agency trying to achieve too much with the too little money was also identified, and necessary steps were put in place to try and avoid another mishap of this scale. Surviving in India's salty desert, the Indian wild ass, locally called khur, has outlasted predators such as cheetah and lion. And an upcoach evolved the buoyant waters of the Arabian Sea made incursions into the region 150 to 200 million years ago. Geological upheavals led to the rise of the landmass that cut off the Kutch basin from the sea. The line of Kutch evolved when the waters of the Arabian Sea made incursions into this region of 150 to 200 million years ago. Geological upheavals led to the rise of the landmass that cut off the Kutch basin from the sea. The little run of Kutch lies at the end of the Gulf of Kutch and covers an area of 5,000 square kilometers, chiefly in the Surendranagar district of Gujarat. Climate aligned farm practices by Rajasthan tribals discussed at the global meet. Addressing at this session, the Dasara Philanthropy Forum 2024, Jayosh Joshi, the picture secretary of Banaswara-based voluntary group of Wagdara, said the initiatives led by the tribals had the potential to enhance sustainability and resilience and drive impactful climate interventions. A session held on a theme building resilience, harnessing the power of the locally led climate solutions, discussing initiatives led by the tribals which have to enhance sustainability and resilience and drive impactful climate interventions. Adoption of the climate aligned agricultural practices by tribal communities, including those in the southern Rajasthan, their indigenous knowledge, community governance, and priority to local food production for the market-driven economy were highlighted at a global meet held in New York over the weekend. A representative from Rajasthan addressing the Dasra Philanthropy Forum 2024 held alongside the United Nations General Assembly on Friday, September 27, 2024 on locally led solutions to climate change. At the meeting, the strategies adopted by tribal communities in southern Rajasthan to protect the natural resources and live in harmony with the environment were discussed, and an emphasis was laid on a climate resilient farming systems which enable adaptation to regional climate changes. new drug for schizophrenia has experts excited. The drug Cobenfy, developed by US firm Giant Bristol Myers Squibb, works differently from the existing treatments targeting the so-called cholinergic receptors, not the dopamine receptors. Experts expressed enthusiasm on Friday, September 27, 2024, after the United States health regulators approved the first new form of treatment for schizophrenia indicated. The drug called Cobenfy and developed by the US pharma Giant Bristol Myers Squibb works differently from the existing treatment targeting the so-called cholinergic receptors, not the dopamine receptors. India affirms commitment to social determinants of health at the United Nations General Assembly. Union Minister of the State for Health Anupriya Patel was led to speaker at the event held during the G20 Joint Finance Health Task Force high-level meeting. Union Minister of State for Health Anupriya Patel emphasized the significance of addressing the core SDH factors such as housing, sanitation, water access, and economic security, and reiterated the need for the standardization of the data sources. A statement from the ministry said, India affirmed its steadfast commitment to improving the social determinants of health during the G20 Joint Finance Health Task Force (JFHDF) high-level meeting held at the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly. A Union Health Ministry statement said on Friday, September 28, 2024. The session was centered on prioritizing the investment in the health sector, advancing the development and implementation of the depth of health swap agreements, and the role of the social determinants of health, it said. Centered to include 170 Ayush packages in ABPMJY stores for traditional medicines in the Tehsils. Discussions with the insurance companies to finalize the package cost structures are underway, and soon Ayush treatment package will be in the place of ABPMJY beneficiaries, Minister Pratap Rao Jadhav said. Discussions with the insurance companies to finalize the package cost structure are underway, Ayush Minister Pratap Rao Jadhav has said. A total of 170 Ayush treatment packages will soon be included in the government's flagship Ayushman Bharat Health Insurance Scheme, Ayush Minister Pratap Rao Jadhav said on Friday, September 27, 2024, adding the consultations are in the final stage. The minister also said that the guarantee easy access to the Ayush medications, special medical stores on the lines of the Janaushadhi Kendras would be set up at the Tehsil level. Last, there's a famous quotation said by a famous president of India, Zakir Hussain Khan. Birth anniversary 8 February 1897 after 3 May of 1969. Was an Indian education politician who served as the third president of India from 13 May 1967 until his death on 3rd May 1969. Born in Hyderabad in the Afridi Pashtun family, Hussain completed his schooling in the Etawah and went on to the study of the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College, Aligarh, and the University of the Berlin, from where he obtained a doctoral degree in the economics. A close associate of Mahatma Gandhi, Hussain was a founding member of the Jamia Millia Islamia, which was establishing an independent national university in response to the non-cooperation movement. He served as the university's vice-chancellor from 1926 to 1948. In 1937, Hussain chaired the Basic National Education Committee, which framed a new educational policy known as Nai Talim, which emphasized free and compulsory education in the first language. He was opposed to the policy of the separate electorates for Muslims. And in 1946, the Muslim League under the Muhammad Ali Jinnah voted a proposal by the Indian National Congress to include Hussain in the interim government of India. Following independence and the partition of India, Hussain stayed on in India, and in 1948 he was appointed Vice Chancellor of the Aligarh Muslim University, which he helped retain as a national institution of higher learning. For his services to the education, he was awarded the Padma Vibhushan in 1954 and was made a nominated member of the Indian Parliament during 1952 to 1957. Hussain served as the governor of the Bihar from 1957 to 1962 and was elected the Vice President of India in 1962. The following year, he was conferred the Bharat Ratna. He was elected the president in 1967, succeeding the Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, and became the first Muslim to hold the highest constitutional office in India. He was also the first incumbent to die in office and had shortest tenure of any Indian president. His mazar lies in the campus of the Jamia Millia Islamia in Delhi. An author and a translator of several books into the Urdu and a prolific writer of children's books, Hussain has been commemorated in India through the postage stamps and several educational institutions, libraries, roads, and Asia's largest rose garden that have been named after him is in Chandigarh. Dr. Zakir Hussain says a famous quotation. He says that life is immense, comprehensive, and dynamic. It includes spirit and matter and idealism and pragmatism and rotates around the axis of the noble and the ignoble. Life strives for higher ends. It is a mission, a service, and finally a worship. Okay, thank you.